tight, or we can get an outside lane going and see some guys move to the front.
Pit car off. The field picks up speed into the tri-oval. And green flag in the air at Talladega Superspeedway in the ARCA Series.
Nice jump by Sawallich's Venturini teammates side by side in that battle for second.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely want to try and get their teammates in line there as fast as possible. See if the 55 can get up there with Sawallich.
Robusto's going to pull in line now right behind her teammate Lawless Allen. That's Lawless in that blue car. There's Jake Finch leading that outside line in that 25 car. Remember, the last lap they ran here, he was leading when he went to victory lane. Trying to make something happen on the outside, Austin.
Yeah, he remembers what it's like to lead from the front, so he's trying to get there as fast as possible. Like you said, he just needs that help. You know, everybody trying to get in line right here, save their stuff. You heard Butterbean talk about it, patience, but Jake knows what it's like to lead. He's trying to get there, and he might get that opportunity here if these guys pull out a line like that.
It looks like those Venturini cars may have thought about getting in line, and then William Sawallich pulled up in front of Lawless Allen, the lead Venturini car.
They're trying to race a little bit here to start
I love
this
it.
thing.
I love it.
Lap number 2 of 76 in the General Tire 200. We'll have a scheduled race break at or around lap 38. It's Sawallich at the point with Lawless Allen, who led 26 laps in the Daytona race, got caught up in a wreck. Isabella Robusto in third. We got a car off onto pit road here. The 06 of Brayton Laster with issues.
I'm not sure he's going to make it all the way back around. That's him over in turn 3 and 4 right now, coasting.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for him to make it from there, and it kind of gets rough when you get to pit road, so it could check him up if he doesn't have any power.
It's Lawless Allen as Sawallich moves up to the top groove here.
I think Sawallich knows that Jake's got a fast car, and he's trying to keep him pinned, but yeah, that's a close move there in the middle, trying to keep that gap. When you're outside lane, you're trying to be on the door of that guy on the inside to, you know, side draft as best you can to get that little bit of air to pull you forward. I think the 25 is going to give the 18 a shove and get him out front right here and probably get down.
We saw that 6-car third in line on the inside. That's LeVar Scott, runner-up last year in the point standings.
I saw LeVar before the race. That guy works out. He's got some big arms.
He's
on
got
him,
some
man.
guns.
Yeah.
He's got a couple of fourth place finishes at Daytona, talking about super speedway, so very comfortable on this type of track. Of course, you know Talladega is its own animal in a lot of ways. 5th at Phoenix in race number 2 for LeVar Scott this season back in early March.
Yes, 2 strong top 5 finishes to start the season.
So it's Sawallich.
We have a new leader.
We do.
We have a lead change.
Yes, we do. Didn't see it the entire time in the race last year. But Jake Finch, who led every lap, takes the lead from the outside and now drops down. He's in front, working lap number 4 here in the General Tire 200.
Yeah, he's doing exactly what he said he wanted to do. He wanted to lead from the front, control the field. We'll see if he does it any different than the 18 did while he was up front.
That 76 car on the outside that actually pushed Jake to the lead is Cole Raz, new to the ARCA Series this year, but really impressive. A couple 6th-place finishes to start the season. Actually won in the West Series last year at Kern Raceway.
Yeah, he's doing a good job keeping that group as tight as he can. I think that's Cletus there sitting in 4th. He kind of popped out off of turn 4. If they can keep that group together and then have a car that has a little bit of speed pull out in front of them, they can get those runs built.
On board with the 30 car, Garrett Mitchell, Cletus McFarland.
Oh.
And now Cole Raz, just when you talked about it, pulls out a line and he's got problems.
Off the pace for sure.
I saw some debris going down into 1 fly through there. I don't know if it come off of his car, but something interesting happened going into 1, I thought.
You hear the engine still running on that car.
It's like he's having to steer it a little more than you normally would.
At that speed.
General Tire on board of the 76 Cole Raz. He was 4th and now have big-time issues as Finch continues to lead. And you talked about it, Austin. Perhaps something flies off here.
Yeah,
it came off from under it.
That's a big piece of something. I don't know what it was.
I think it's stuck in the 36. We caught a glimpse of Ryan Huff's car I think it caught stuck in the grill of that car.
So Cole Raz in the 76 off the pace after running fourth early on in this one, working lap number 6 here at Talladega. It's Jake Finch out front, won it last year, leading every single lap. Sawalich in second, followed by Lawless Allen and Isabella Robusto in fourth.
Now, if these drivers are smart, they're going to stay in line like this. Just log some laps. Let's get to that halftime break. Or if we get a caution prior to that halftime break, then we could see some strategy. But log some laps. Stay against that double yellow line. Try not to move out of line, because right now it doesn't matter if you're running second, third, fourth, fifth. We just need to put some laps on the board.
Yeah, and if I'm sitting there third, fourth, fifth, I'm watching the guy in front of me, watching the guy behind me, and trying to do a very good job of controlling that yellow line. If you see guys moving up and down, you just don't like working with them, because you don't know what to expect. You know, you can kind of start to hedge your bet on, all right, his car's handling good, he's doing a good job, he's relaxed in the car, and you can kind of feel the tension on some of those. There's the caution probably here if the 76 can get to pit road. He's on pit road.
Yeah, right front tire obviously down on that 76 car. He is on pit road.
Josh has got an update on pit road. Josh?
Well, yeah, you see Cole Raz coming into his pit stall now. You saw the skirt on the left rear come off that car just a few minutes ago, and they came over the radio asking him what was going on. He said, I can't drive this thing. Right now, you see the rear going down, so they're changing the tire as well. So a tough start to the race for Cole Raz, guys.
Tough for that AM Racing Ford, Lake Oswego, Oregon native. 22-year-old Cole Raz with trouble early on here.
He's kind of fortunate, though, that it didn't blow out in a bad place. You know, he was able to get it back to pit road, not destroy the car. And
didn't blow the fender off it.
Yeah.
Jake Finch on the point, followed by Sawalich. Single file racing.
Butterbean is still up in this lead pack right now, being shown in the 6th position.
These are Finch's first laps led since leading every lap here last year. He looks comfortable out there. We saw him a couple hours ago, Phil, when we were wandering around down on the infield, and he seemed very confident in his car going in again here this year.
Yeah, we've got a mover here. Staropoli in the top 10, started 37th, did a great job getting from the back to the front. He's got some pace.
He had a brake issue yesterday. They actually had to work on that car after the practice session. This car didn't have any points from last year, so he was starting towards the back anyway. But again, started dead last on the field, already up into the top 10.
And you can tell those Venturini Motorsports cars, they always have speed in this ARCA Menard series, and he was able to get right up in there.
He was in the Xfinity race at Martinsville earlier this season, finished 16th, had a top 20 in the Truck Series that same weekend for the 15-car Staropoli. Lap number 9 at Talladega Superspeedway with Jake Finch out front. Back at Talladega, and this happened moments ago. What do you see with Cole Raz?
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what part of the car came flying out from underneath there. It hit the 93, then stuck inside of the 36, and at one point I thought it was valence, but it's not that.
Might be a side. Was it a side skirt possibly?
They mentioned side skirt over the radio when Josh was on pit road, but he's up on the right side, so I don't know where it
But
came
that shouldn't have cut his tire down. That shouldn't have cut his tire down. That's kind of odd.
Well, Cole Raz is today's Rookie Spotlight, brought to you by Bounty. Got a lot of talent for this kid, Phil.
Yeah, as we mentioned, he won that race out of Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway, and again, 2 6th-place finishes in the 2 ARCA national races. He also raced at Rockingham last week in the East race, had another top 10 finish there. So really off to a great start, and he's not out of this. He's on the racetrack right now, being shown a couple laps down. If he could possibly get one of those laps back on his own, then potentially could get a free pass.
Yeah, and he's in the lead group of cars, so he's got speed in that race car.
Up to 32nd, just picked up a spot 2 laps down, as you alluded to. It's Jake Finch on the point, lap number 14 of 76. Again, a scheduled race break at or around lap 38, so the midpoint.
Yeah, we have a 7-car breakaway right now. I think that's the 8th place car. That's Thad Moffitt, that 46 white and yellow car, leading this second group.
Yeah, and I believe Spencer Gallagher's in that group along with them. I don't know what has happened to Cletus. He's fallen out of that group. He was with them there a minute ago.
All right, we got an update on Cletus with Caitlin.
Yeah, he had been making up a lot of ground working with Spencer Gallagher, but now listening to the radio, Kevin Hamlin, the spotter, who of course spots for Alex Bowman on the Cup side, saying they think they might have an engine issue right now on that 30, guys.
Bad news there for the man who was running well at Daytona in February, but obviously got caught up in a couple of wrecks and ended up in the booth, Phil.
Yeah, and it was running well here, was running up in that lead draft. Now he's falling back behind the second pack. LeVar Scott right now being shown in the 4th spot. That's Cole Raz right in front of him, but remember, 2 laps down. It would be certainly advantageous if he could somehow get around Jake Finch.
Yeah, that's
we
a
know we're
fast
going to
group
get a
of
race
cars
break
right there.
Halfway. Maybe, if we get a caution before that, then there's going to be another free pass. So.
Yeah, I think this is playing into, obviously, Jake's hands a little bit here, but Brendan Queen's right there in 5th. I look for him to make a move later in the race. He actually did race right here a little bit with LeVar Scott. Usually see a little bit of this when they catch lap traffic.
Ooh, a little bit of a nudge there to LeVar Scott.
Let him know, get down, or I'm coming through.
Brendan Queen, of course, the defending champ in the Cars Tour late model division.
Jake, this is not his only race this weekend. He raced in Pensacola last night and won in Ronnie Sanders' car in a pro late model race.
Nice. That's a big difference coming from there to here.
From Pensacola to
I think
here.
you can fit about 4 or 5, maybe 6 of those in this place.
A lot of guys, even on the weekend off, went and raced somewhere. Did you take the full weekend off for Easter there, Austin?
Definitely did. Yeah, I stayed home, which is kind of like a vacation.
You got 1 week off.
Yeah, we got 1 week off this year. That's a big deal, We got to stay home. So anytime vacation is almost home sometimes for us in the Cup Series.
So 28 straight races starting tomorrow. That's a heck of a grind.
It is, and here we go. We got a
battle for the lead, potentially here.
Sawalich on the outside.
And look who's helping along here. That's that Cole Raz, right?
Love that.
That's him trying to probably get one of those laps back too. Possibility if he can get out front of Sawalich here, that would put him in front and save a lap.
So Sawalich back out front. You see plus 31 for Staropoli so far. Moyer plus 24. Balkin plus 11. Those are the biggest movers so far in this one.
How about Cole Raz now? Slides in front of Sawalich for a moment. Doesn't have much help behind him right now.
He's got a fast car, though. He's pulling away without much help. And if I was LeVar Scott and Butterbean, I think he's trying to lead this race to get that lap back. So he's not going to pull down until he gets the lead. It's somebody you can work with right now.
So it's Sawalich back to the point. He won 9 times in this series last season. Jake Finch tucks in behind, and then Lawless Allen. Raz pulling up the outside line.
Staropoli's in that inside line as well. In the 15 car, you see the blue and white 15 car right there. Isabella Robusto, his teammate, another Venturini car in that 55.
It's always interesting to me the different strategies you see from drivers, the side draft or not side draft, when to side draft, and they're kind of messing with it and learning what they can right now. You can see Butterbean's trying to get a little bit of a side draft off the last car on the inside lane, and he's getting some gap, but sometimes it pulls you away. You almost need to create some space. He's tucking back in line now.
So it's Sawalich back in front. He and Finch have been the top 2 so far. Lap number 19 at Talladega, race number 3 of the 2025 season. Lap 22 at Lawless Allen when we were on break. Went to the point in that number 20 car. Well, he made the move, and here is a Reese's sweet move of the race. Visit arcaracing.com on Monday, 3 Eastern, to see who's crowned Reese's sweet move of the race. Our first one of the day, Phil.
See, Sawalich has the lead on the inside. Lawless Allen's going to jump to the outside. Has a little bit of a help coming right in front of Cole Raz, who's trying to get one of his laps back, but that's going to propel him out to the lead. Great move by Lawless Allen.
Yeah, it was really good. I'd love to hear his spotter transmission, because he's probably told him, hey, there's a run coming, let's use it, let's try and get to the front, and he did a good job taking it. And Cole Raz also has done a good job putting himself only 1 lap down. He's leading this field. If he can keep the point here, he'll only be 1 down.
And again, we've got a scheduled race break at the midpoint right around lap 38. This is the second race led in Lawless Allen's career. Led 26 laps at Daytona, this year before getting caught up in a wreck.
There comes Jake again on the outside. We've got a few more players up here in the front pack.
We mentioned Staropoli plus 32 now. AJ Moyer quietly, if you can do that, moving up 25 spots in the first third of this race. With more on Staropoli, back down to Caitlin.
Yeah, guys, I had a chance to talk with Patrick earlier, and he said it's been so insane to have the support of both of the groups of what he loves to do. And, of course, he's referring to his career as a race car driver and a retinal surgeon in Houston. And I asked him if there's anything he can draw from his surgeon side that helps him as a race car driver. And he just said the mental focus for both really has to be there, always thinking 4 steps ahead. But he said he has loved bringing more awareness, of course, to his platform in medicine through his racing. But he told me, too, he leaned on Joey Coulter a little bit to help him prepare for this race and doing some iRacing all week long to get ready for Talladega, guys.
Yeah, and he's legit, too. Patrick Staropoli is a good race car driver. He won a contest that Peak Antifreeze put on in association with Michael Waltrip years ago and won an opportunity to go run a West race and went out there and won that thing. So, and then obviously he was in med school then, and then he went on med school and then his residency and fellowship or whatever. Now he's an outstanding retina surgeon.
Wow, it's impressive.
Yeah.
He's being surgical out there today.
Yeah, he is.
He graduated from Harvard.
Yeah.
We don't get that many Harvard graduates racing here in the ARCA Menard Series.
35 years of age from Plantation, Florida. Staropoli up to third. Lawless Allen in front. Sawalich there, pushing him on the outside. More on Lawless with Josh.
I had a chance to talk to Lawless this morning, and he talked about that Daytona race where he led 26 laps early. And he said, the key for me today is I need to be a little more patient. He said, I got involved in that wreck because I got impatient and I made some moves I shouldn't have. So the key for him today was to maintain that patience. Of course, he wanted to get to the front. And guys, this is a big racetrack for Lawless Allen. In the Truck Series last year, he finished 5th in this race and really had a shot to win it at the end of this race. He keeps a screenshot of the way that played out on his phone as a reminder. Said he's not changing that screenshot until he gets his first career win. So, hey, guys, he could be changing that screenshot today.
Good stuff, Josh. He's running a handful of races in the Truck Series this season with Tricon Garage. In fact, got a top 10 in Martinsville earlier.
I tell you, Cole Raz is doing an outstanding job. Again, there's 4 Venturini cars up there battling in this lead pack in addition to everyone else, and Cole Raz is all by himself but doing an outstanding job.
Yeah, Cole has done a good job of backing up to whatever his help is. I feel like he does a good job of trying to build a run with the guy behind him. So I feel like as the race goes on, if he can get his lap back, that AM Racing car is fast.
Be interesting to see. Trying to get to that race break, which is scheduled for about 12 laps from now.
If he can get to that caution at either the caution or a race break and be out front like he is right here momentarily, that'll get one of them back. Then he's going to be in great position to get that free pass for the second one. Could he?
And there it is. Here comes the caution.
Sure. Butterbean
in trouble.
Spencer Gallagher in the 23 as well.
Gallagher spins out, tries to hold on to it in the 23, and Butterbean with damage.
See, the left rear tire is down on Butterbean's car. I don't think he made any significant contact with anything or anybody. If he can get that car refired and get back there, he's got it refired now.
Yeah,
got to be very careful, though, doesn't he, Austin, with those flat tires?
For sure. You know, this car has a lot of damage here, but, you know, Butterbean, I think, is fine if he just takes his time getting back to pit road.
Yeah, that's Andy J. That's the 73 car of Andy Jankowiak that we saw crippled up. It was when they were going around the lap car. It looks like Butterbean got in the back of Spencer Gallagher. Then Spencer got into Andy J. Spencer stayed out of the wall as well, I think.
Yeah, he just got to pushing on the right rear there. Kind of that lap car shoved Butterbean up, and, still in the gas, and just kind of caught Spencer, I think, in the right rear.
Yeah, they were very tight as they were going around the lap car of Brad Smith, the 48.
Yeah, sometimes when that happens and everything starts closing in on you, you move a little faster, a little quicker than you need to, and things like that happen. So it was a good save by the 23 down there by that inside wall. He did a good job correcting himself and not putting himself in any more danger or wrecking that race car.
Gallagher in his first ARCA race since back in 2014.
It's never a good feeling there, Phil. Running along and then all of a sudden you're going the other direction.
You don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
On board with Andy J. Got caught up in it with Butterbean and Gallagher as well. 49 to go at Talladega. Our first caution of the afternoon. Welcome back to the General Tire 200. The ARCA Menard Series from Talladega, race number 3, and our first in 7 weeks. Our first caution with 48 to go, and back down to Caitlin.
Well, guys, listening in to Patrick Sarapoli's radio, he said he feels like he's got a pretty bad vibration in the center of the corner on both ends of the race car. So that's the feedback he's been giving right now to the team. Their plan is obviously to replace those 4 tires, give them some fuel, and see if they can't help that, guys.
And Phil, with the fuel window, at this point, you can go the rest of the way.
Yeah, a lot of the people in the garage, all the crew chiefs we talked to said, about starting at about lap 22, they would think about stopping for sure by the lap 25, and here we are right now on lap 28. So when pit road opens, I think we're going to see a flurry of activity.
We saw Butterbean come down. He had to, obviously, with a flat tire. So you're right, it is a flurry. And once you come down, you cannot lose your place among the other cars that are on pit road. But obviously, anybody who stays out gains their track position.
I thought that Cole Raz may stay out there and take the wave, because do we have the break that comes up? Yeah, so I might have missed opportunity there to get a lap back.
All right, check in once again with Josh.
Yeah, and for the 20 of Lawless Allen, he is extremely happy with this car right now, saying I have no problems. He said obviously it sucks up a little bit better when one of the teammates is in front of me. A little bit easier, obviously, when he's out in front for him. So as they look at the car right now, he's going to get some fuel. And for the 18 of William Sawalich, no adjustments for that car. He is happy with it as they're fueling it right now. The plan was just to get fuel for the 18 of William Sawalich.
Doesn't look like they're fueling it. I mean, we have created a small lake in that pit stop.
We went back and got a different gas can, and that one's doing the job. Yeah. Again, no need to be in any hurry. You have till the pace car comes back around, so you almost 3 minutes to do this pit work. You can put fuel in and change tires on this pit stop. You just can't do them simultaneously.
So they got the second fuel can in there on the 18 car. Joe Gibbs Racing, William Sawalich.
Something must have been wrong with that first can for sure.
Second can of Sunoco going in on that 18. You're right, he's built a little lake down there. Pit stall.
Take off easy.
And he does. The 18 headed back out on track. 47 to go. That was the 36 that we talked about with Ryan Huff and the issues on the front of his car.
Yeah, watch right here.
Looks like there's something wrong in the neck.
Or the end of that can, because the second can seem to be fine, but certainly no fuel going in there. Yeah. And the reason we have these pit stops that are non-competitive is just a cost-saving measure. Saves these teams several $1,000s each on having those high-priced pit crew guys.
One of the favorites, the 18 of William Sawalich. Gorgeous day in late April in Talladega, Alabama. Working our first caution here at Talladega this afternoon. 45 to go. Handful of cars stayed out, but Jake Finch is going to get a 1-lap penalty for fueling and changing tires at the same time.
We just talked about that. You can do both. You just cannot do it simultaneously. Let's take a look at his pit stop here.
This crew is
changing tires, obviously.
For Saturday and Sunday, huh?
Yeah.
Trying to
watch the gas man. Let's see if he engages that gas can before the tires are changed.
Phil, now in the break, you said you've been doing this for a long time.
147 years, and that's the rule. They're obviously still changing tires, and that guy plugged the gas can in. That is going to be a 1-lap penalty. Jake will obviously be eligible for a free pass if we get another caution flag. We know we're going to get another caution flag at the break.
Right.
So hopefully he'll be the first car 1 lap down and be able to get that free pass.
Well, that'll be some interesting racing for us right there. Because he's going to be digging to try and get in that position to be the lucky dog when that caution falls. And I'm going to bet that there's going to be another caution.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good one.
Maybe one or two.
Because now we have the field mixed up. We have a lot of guys, we have a handful of guys that stayed out.
A lot happened on what I would call a cold pit road right there.
Yeah, it did.
6 lead changes so far, more than the last 2 races here combined. And it's about to get even better.
Yeah, we're going to have more lead changes too. Look, but let's give a call to Ryan Roulette. He had a top 10 finish. That's the blue car on the inside. He's our leader right now. Had his best career finish at Daytona with a top 10.
So he stayed out along with Maples. Hageberg, who's also an engineering student at North Dakota State, and they sponsor that number 11 car.
Love that. Love that.
Toyota running 3rd here on the restart.
It's a good looking car.
Yeah, it is.
The Bison?
That's right. Back to speed. Green flag back in the air at Talladega. 44 laps to go.
I saw Andy J, that gray car that's in the 3rd line right there. He jumped out of line before he got to the start-finish line. I'm sure the ARCA officials will take a look at that. Lawless Allen now. They're lining up Patrick Starpoli behind him on the outside to try to take back control of this race.
Yeah, it's a pack of wolves right there. When you got those tires and guys are staying out on old tires, haven't seen the front, they're going to treat you like a rookie. They're going to do whatever they can to get around you and get to the front.
That outside line pulling forward with Lawless Allen at the point. 3 wide here at Talladega out of the turn.
William Sawalich is trying to get that 3rd lane going, giving a good push to, I can't tell who that is.
I think that's LeVar Scott, maybe, that was leading that pack. Now Sawalich is going to jump to the middle, had a bit of a run going.
Thad Moffitt in that group as well.
Yeah, Thad's doing a nice job.
Jankowiak had good speed yesterday, but just picked up a pass-through penalty.
Yeah, we saw what I mentioned. He jumped out of line before he got to the start-finish line. That's another rule that we've had in place for a lot of years.
So the 73 car, the 37-year-old from Buffalo, New York, Andy Jankowiak, will have to come down pit road again. You see on the bottom right, he jumped it.
Phil, that was impressive. You saw that right off the bat.
You know, Phil won the Cup race here all the way back in 1988, holding off Bodine and Allison in the closing laps.
Yeah, Bobby was actually going for a bonus. He'd won the 500 that year, Bobby had. And had he won this race, then that would have been a $100,000 bonus. But fortunately, he didn't win that bonus.
I think tomorrow's race, there's a big tribute to Bobby.
Is it? Yeah, should be. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
today.
What a great guy.
Last time we checked in on Cletus, he had a few problems. Let's find out more as that story develops, Caitlin.
Yeah, guys, just checked in with Cletus McFarland's team and talked with Mark Rett, and he said they believe they have an internal issue in the valve train, so they're going to keep monitoring the pitch of that. If it gets worse, he said we may have to just call it a day for that 30. But very disappointing turn of events for this team after so much promise and anticipation for Cletus McFarland's return to the ARCA Series, guys.
Started 18th and currently 21st with those issues.
Yeah, that's no fun, man. I know he wanted to come out here and dig a little bit, but we'll see what happens as it gets later. Maybe it cleans up, or maybe it don't. You just never know. Big lift off of 4.
Yeah, Andy Jankowiak was in front of that car, in front of Cletus, and he had to make his way to pit road to serve that penalty. That's Nolan Wilson, that 69 car owned by Bill Kimmel, right in front of Cletus.
Jake's made his way back into that lead group. He's probably 4 or 5 back on the outside line. He's in position probably to get that lucky dog, be back on the lead lap.
He's going to be fighting Spencer Gallagher for that free pass. Spencer's being shown a lap down as well.
Yeah.
Sawalich on the outside of Lawless Allen, side by side, with 41 to go.
Good racing right here.
Yeah, we're close to that break with then 3 or 4 laps of that break. These cars appear to be pretty evenly matched. Lawless Allen, Sawalich, obviously Starapoli, Jake, LeVar Scott. It's hard to pick a favorite right now. Ryan Roulette really doing a nice job hanging in there right now. That's the 67 car, 3rd in line on the inside. Bryce Hageberg, that 11 we talked about right behind him. There he is. There's Ryan Roulette.
Both these guys have done a good job.
Active duty Air Force pilot.
Oh, man.
Impressive. They both stayed out. Tim Richmond, we talked to his dad as well as Tim earlier. They said they had a really fast hot rod here today, and Tim Richmond is up to 6th here in the 27 car.
I tell you what I like about Ryan is that stash. That is impressive right there.
That's real. That's a real one, though.
Now, those guys stayed out right there, and they'll come get their tires and fuel at the break.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. But great to see him running up front.
Yeah, that gives you the confidence that you know your car's fast enough to be in that lead pack and in that group. So later on the race, I think they could be players.
There's Jake's going to try to get that third lane going up there. Has Cole Raz behind him. We know Cole has a fast car. Unfortunately, Cole did not get that lap back when the caution came out earlier. He was not in front, so he's still being shown 2 laps down.
2 laps down. Got 23 cars on the lead lap. Jan Kowiak is the final car on the lead lap. And again, Finch is the first one a lap down.
A little bit of a late block, it looked like, but LeVar Scott was ready for it, fortunately.
Yeah, interesting choice there. You know, you got a guy behind you, teammate, probably can work together a little bit here to just get yourself enough out front that outside lane backs up. But what it did do, it kind of broke that outside lane apart, making that move.
LeVar Scott with Thad Moffitt on the outside, pushing him.
Yeah, Jake's in good position right now because Spencer Gallagher is not in this lead pack. So if Jake can just hang in here in this lead pack, when that break comes, then he's gonna get that lap back.
Looks like the 46 got a good car to push with. He's pushing LeVar up there, giving him these big runs that you see, and there's our caution.
So that is the scheduled race break here at lap number 39. Caution out, our second of the day. This one we expected was Sawalich in the lead. Lawless Allen scored in second.
And most of our field, especially the cars running up front that have the track position, will stay on the racetrack and forego this mid-race break.
Halfway through here at Talladega, it's the General Tire 200 in the ARCA Menard Series on FS1. ARCA Racing on FS1 is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. And by Bounty. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper. Let's take a look at the Richmond mid-race report here at Talladega and the General Tire 200. A lot of good action. 4 different leaders, 9 lead changes, 24 cars on the lead lap. As Jake Finch just got his lap back, the lucky dog, and 2 cautions so far, one of them scheduled here at the midpoint.
I might want Andy J. We saw him have to serve that penalty for jumping out of line. He was able to stay on the lead lap, so he's still certainly in contention.
Bryce Hagelberg hit pit road, got his tires and fuel in that North Dakota car.
How about that? A part-time student, a full-time student, part-time driver. Engineering at North Dakota State, 21-year-old from West Fargo, North Dakota. They call it the Bison Mobile. Looking paint scheme on that number 11 for Hageberg. All right, let's get a report. We talked about the ability of that 46 to push in the first half of this race. Caitlin has more.
Yeah, guys, he's currently occupying right there in the top 5, and he's actually finished in the top 6 3 times in a row here at Talladega. But he told his team, we have a freaking rocket ship. We can win this race. And the team told him he's doing an awesome job. But think about what kind of run you can get on the leader from the outside and make sure you also save fuel, guys.
You know, one thing we've seen Thad around here. You know, he ran the ARCA Series back a few years ago, went and ran some Trans Am racing, and you may not recognize the name, but you would recognize his grandfather's name. It's Richard Petty.
That's pretty impressive bloodlines. He's got a top 5 to his credit here at Talladega. Thad Moffitt in the past, and 3 top 10s. He's running in the top 5. Green flag when we come back to Talladega. 35 to go in the General Tire 200. Let's take a look at today's Sioux Chief fast track driver. It's Andy Jankowiak. And Andy J has had his ups and downs so far. Had to serve a penalty, Phil, but still was able to stay on the lead lap, being scored in 21st at the moment.
He's a full-time pizza delivery guy up in New York. And, you know, we talk about short tracks and how big, massive this place is. We drove in the infield. Brett and I drove in the infield. So I can't even believe that there's a racetrack surrounding this whole thing. Well, he races indoor TQ midgets. So, I mean, what is it? What would that be? An eighth of a mile, probably indoor TQ.
Yeah,
so
that'd be tight.
Yeah, and he wins a lot there. He won the championship in New Jersey this past winter. He's the biggest winner ever in that indoor midget class. But
I want to try his pizza.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your favorite pizza, Phil?
I like just
Standard
pepperoni.
pepperoni.
Yeah, I had one last night actually.
Your head margarita pizza is pretty good.
Yeah. I like Hawaiian
Look,
pizza. There we go.
Is Brexton out there? I remember Kyle going and racing with Brexton at this Talladega at the short track out back. But heck, he might be at the dirt track tonight. You never know.
34 to go. And when we come to the green flag, it'll be 33. Back under green here at Talladega. Sawalich and LeVar Scott and Lawless Allen.
Really want to try and get the lead here so you can control the rest of the race. I heard something interesting. It was telling Thad to save fuel, so those guys must think they're going to be a little tight on fuel at the end, but you got to save enough for a green light checkered, I'm assuming.
Well, it's only one attempt at overtime at the super speedways, and that's only going to be one lap. So that doesn't mean you won't run a few caution laps before that attempt at an overtime. So you guys save fuel from the time you start the engines on pit road, don't you? Every week.
Every week, you know,
everywhere.
We're pretty much racing fuel mileage tomorrow. It changes track position, how you get on pit road, a lot of things that factor into saving fuel. But I didn't think it would be an issue after the break.
And Austin, you'll be starting 5th. Couple of good qualifying runs for you this morning.
Yeah, it's always nice to have that ECR power when you come to these speedways, and Kyle Busch and I both are going to be at the top 5s. That's big, and really proud of all the guys back at the shop putting in the effort.
And you're coming off that top 10 at Bristol, so things looking up for your crew.
Yeah, we're excited. Just want to keep the momentum going. Anytime you can get that momentum, you don't want to lose it. It's kind of like Sawalich right now. He's got the momentum out front on the field.
We want to get those cars on the outside, down inside. We need to not let them have a 4-car breakaway here.
LeVar Scott was trying to pull that outside. That's Scott in the 6 car.
That's Isabella right now running 4th at the back of that front pack. And Austin, you were mentioning what a nice job she's done during the commercial break, been up in this lead pack from the very start. Now Jason Kitzmiller is going to jump in behind her in that 97.
Yeah, she's putting a little pressure here on Star Poli and doing a good job just staying tight in line. Nothing out of the ordinary here, and this pack breakaway could be good for this group here. And if they can get away, it makes the rest of the race a little less stressful until a caution comes out.
She continues in the top 4 here. Kitzmiller is right there in 5th. I talked to Jason earlier this morning. They had to start deep in the field. Again, it was based on owner's points from 2024. He said, as long as we stay patient, we've got the speed and the ability. And here he is with 31 to go, running up in the top 5.
Yeah, he made a couple moves there on the restart to get in line and kind of benefited to get to the back of this pack.
Yeah, finished 3rd at Daytona, his best career finish. See how much of it now? Not quite the breakaway. Just a couple car lengths between that 5th and this snarling pack here, side by side.
You can see how much it hurts you when you get side by side racing really hard, side drafting. It just pulls you away, and you get 5 good cars like they have right now. They get out front. LeVar might be able to get attached here and pull this line forward.
You see that green car behind LeVar. He's losing a little bit of ground right now. That's Caleb Costner, and I ran into him at Rockingham. I went there for the truck race last week, and he said, "Hey, I'm going to win Talladega." And I saw him in the garage yesterday. He said, "I'm telling you, I'm going to win Talladega." And here he is, running up in the top 10, doing a nice job.
He can make it come true.
Yeah,
32-year-old from Dallas, North Carolina. CW Motorsports Chevrolet, and by the way, it was Sawalich out front. JGR has 46 career ARCA wins. He's got 9 of them last year. None have come on super speedways. Of course, he couldn't run the super speedways last year because of his age.
Yeah, Tanner Gray drove this car on the super speedways. He didn't win either here, but he got a couple wins last year. Did a nice job in a limited schedule when William wasn't old enough, but William won 9 of 14 starts last year in the
That's
ARCA
impressive.
Series. Yeah,
that's a lot of wins.
An 18 car was 2nd at Daytona. Didn't run at Phoenix, but Brent Cruz drove the 18 and won it in race number 2 this season.
Another couple guys doing well in the top 10. Tim Richmond and Bryce Hageberg back in there, right where they need to be coming to the end of this race.
Absolutely. We talked to Tim, as Brent mentioned, down in the garage area. So we just want to get to the end. Just want to be patient, get to the end. And that should be all these guys' philosophies, is just be patient and we get to 10 laps to go and then see what can happen. There's Tim Richmond right there, the black number 27.
Fell back to 21st because of the pit sequence, but currently up in the top 10.
Seems like all those cars, roof flaps, will have a little bit of gap there. That's probably an accident, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it's an accident or a speed accident, but yeah, it definitely seems to help sometimes. At least some people think it does.
Try to deflect some air off that rear spoiler, obviously, to decrease the drag.
Correct. And you see the snake down the backstretch, and if you watch real tight off of 4, late in this race, the cars that can hold the yellow line on around the corner will be able to defend a little bit better than some of these other race cars. I saw Isabella come off the line there a minute ago, and it's really important to start practicing now, especially when you get more pressure in the pack, that you don't leave that yellow line coming off. She's doing a good job of staying on the yellow line in the middle of the corner, but it made her tight off of 4 the lap before. So anybody that can really just kind of keep their car calm and on the yellow line will be a benefit later in this race, because I think that's a place that you can make a move is late off of 4.
If you give these guys a half a car width, they're going to take it, and they're going to force you up that extra half a car width that you're going to need.
So Walich out front with 27 to go. Then Lawless Allen and Staropoli has been smooth and steady throughout this one.
Well, that 3 wide behind this lead pack is.
LeVar got split, and he was able to get himself back down on the bottom line.
You got Jake there in that third in line on the outside in that second pack.
We got tire down.
No, into the outside wall.
Spencer.
Gallagher again. Tire went down, and he smokes the wall. And caution for the 3rd time.
That damage from the earlier wreck obviously didn't get it fixed good enough, and we've cut a tire.
Yeah, had a bit of a tire rub, I'm sure, and eventually.
He was running 23rd, 1 lap down, and it's probably going to. He'll be able to keep it going there. Hopefully, none of the suspension is bent. He hit pretty hard.
Yeah, Amber Balkin will be. She made an unscheduled pit stop several laps ago. She is the first car right now being shown 1 lap down, so she will get the free pass. That will keep Butterbean 1 lap down.
What is nice to see, though, boy, on Sunday, if you hit like that, your day's probably done on a toe link. But if they can get him back out there, that'd be impressive. But you can change it on pit road now. He did a good job not coming back into the field there, keeping it up by the wall, getting everybody by him.
Tire down and into the fence for the 23 Gallagher, with trouble for the 2nd time today as he comes down pit road, Talladega Superspeedway. With just 2 races left before the Indy 500, the IndyCar Series hits Barber for the Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix. The fastest racing on earth continues live from Birmingham, May 4th on Fox. It's fun to watch open testing this week. Kyle Larson going to run the Indy 500 again, and he had a good first day. Second day, obviously, got into the wall the morning of practice, and they packed it up for the week, but he'll be fun to watch again this year. Raced really well there.
You know what I like about what Kyle said is, like, he felt good to hit the wall. You know what I mean? That's sometimes, if you haven't hit it in a while or ever tested it in a new type of form of racing, you just want to know, like, how bad is this going to hurt? Don't want it to get too bad, but now he knows, and I'm sure he's going to fly around Indy.
You knew it was coming at one point or another, so may as well happen at open testing. Well, news from Rockingham, obviously, this week. Notable here in the ARCA Menard Series, Venturini and the sale to Nitro.
Yeah, the Venturinis have been around so long and started running the ARCA Series, as you can see, back in 1982. Big Bill actually started racing in 1972, but 5 driver championships, including 2 by Big Bill, 107 wins on the ARCA platform. And look at the who's who of former drivers that have drove for the Venturinis over the years in the ARCA series.
I know in the amount of ARCA races that I showed up to compete in, they were always the benchmark. You know, they were going to have speed. I watched my brother race him for a championship for a full year. It was fun, and they have kept this ARCA Menard series in a great place and a proving ground for our sport.
And they're not done. They have 3 cars right now running in the top 4. And that sale went on to Nitro Motorsports. There's also represented here. Nick Tucker owns Nitro Motorsports. Thad Moffitt drives full-time this year for Nitro Motorsports. And it's all to be seen how it will all shake out at the end of the year when that sale actually takes place.
So they are running 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, which you alluded to. And they got Finch there back in 9th.
All right, 24 to go, Phil. Who's your favorite right now?
I like Sawalich. I like the way Sawalich has been able to move it. Flawless Allen, too.
You really stepped out of line with that pick right there.
Yeah, out on a limb. I went way out on a limb.
I'm going to go with Star Poli. I like that he's just been very good at doing his job as far as not putting himself in bad positions. I think he's good at pushing, and when it gets wild, it seems like he's not going to go out of line. He's just going to be in the right place at the right time. That's what I'm hoping for.
Well, we know he's a smart guy.
Yeah, the surgeon part, that's probably, he's playing high-speed chess out there.
Yeah.
Caitlin can add on that.
Yeah, guys, you heard Austin talking there, and this kind of follows right into that. The team telling Patrick, your help will be the 97 of Kitzmiller, who they said is not great at maintaining throttle and pushing, which might actually be advantageous for him if he's not making aggressive moves. Meanwhile, the 97 was being told, be precise on your marks and stay on that yellow line. Don't drift around. So a lot of communication going back and forth as we approach this restart, guys.
Thank you, Caitlin. 23 to go. William Sawalich out front has 13 ARCA wins, none on an oval over a mile. Trying to change that here this afternoon. Season recap so far. It's been exciting through a couple of races here, Phil.
Yeah, Butterbean goes to victory lane in Daytona. Does a great job. Full-time this year in the ARCA Menard Series, racing for the championship. Then Brent Cruz was still only 16 years old when he went to Phoenix in that 18 car and goes to victory lane. He actually won an East race at Rockingham last week in a sister car to the 18, the 81. But 2 really good races so far in the ARCA Menard Series. Now we're going to get a little busier.
Yeah.
We had a big break after Phoenix, but business is going to pick up now. 7 weeks off.
Again, the Cup guys starting a stretch at 28 straight tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a long season for us. We talked to Butterbean before this race. Now he's back on the lead lap, correct?
Yep.
And maybe we can see some of those moves because he's going to have to be aggressive to get back up there. Can't wait anymore.
Yep, time to go.
Queen started 5th.
He's been up and down the board after that wreck, and I think now's the time to try and get in that outside lane, see how many spots you can get with the right people to get to the front. He's got to start last, though, so it's going to be tough. Got to get a good restart. Sometimes when you're in the back on those restarts, if you get to racing side by side, you lose sight of that pack, especially in the ARCA series, it can be tough.
How much of a crapshoot is this race? Especially on the Cup side. How much luck is really, truly involved in good fortune?
Well, I mean, it always matters.
We're going to dial up the 25 car here momentarily. 12 to go.
I want to see if we can see what Jake's thinking of.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, Jake Finch. Phil Parsons in the Fox booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, guy, you overcame that penalty, and now you're in a pretty good position here right now, being shown in the 5th spot. What do you have here for these guys?
Yeah, obviously, I think we have a really good race car. I made a little bit of a mistake there at the beginning and gave up the lead, but I think obviously we have the power to be able to go up there and take it together. So, yeah, just try to be here at the end, be smart, and give it what it takes us.
You've got some good teammates around you. The Venturini car's strong once again. Do you guys have a plan?
I just stay to me. We'll figure it out for sure.
All right, buddy. Good luck.
Yeah.
Jake Finch led them all to win here last year. Top 5, started 6th.
Got the Phoenix on the hood.
Yes, he does.
Love seeing that. I got to run a couple cup races for James Finch, and they were some of the most fun races I've ever been a part of.
James is a fun guy. Known him a long time.
Well, his kid went wire to wire in the 20 car here last year. No cautions. First time in modern history that's happened in the ARCA Menard series on this super speedway.
Yeah, this one's been a lot more eventful than that one last year.
It's been fun for us. I love it. Love good racing here. And we have seen it with the 18 up front as well. Lawless Allen has been a factor. Kitts Miller got his nose out there for a moment. He's third right now in the 97. 11 to go. Cleanup continues under our fourth caution of the day. Going to be a shootout coming up here at Talladega. Notable winners here at Talladega in the ARCA Series. Mark Martin.
Fun fact, Mr. Phil.
I was in that
seventh.
race. Yeah, I finished
in that
seventh.
race.
6 wins here at Talladega in the ARCA Series for those two, Red Farmer, Davey Allison.
Grant Adcock, once upon a time. How about this guy? 1988 in the Cup race in the spring. Phil Parsons. Biggest win of his career in the 55 Skull car. Holding off Allison and Bodine.
Yeah.
No better feeling, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I went back
Those
this week.
locks.
I went back and watched the final 16 laps this week and the post-race interview. Awesome.
I'm getting a hard time from the truck for my hair back then.
Wow, it's good hair, man.
Yeah.
NASCAR hair, hockey hair, whatever we know.
Might have had a perm, a little bit of a perm there. Might have.
Fun fact, you were third at Daytona that year and finished ninth in points in the Cup Series.
Yeah, finished third at Daytona in the second race that year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Heck of a career, Phil. And, you know, Austin, you've won at Daytona twice, including the 500. And now an opportunity, a second and a third at Dega, trying to win it tomorrow for the first time in your career. Like that man.
I want to do what Phil did. I want to go to victory lane here.
You haven't aged a day, Phil. I'm serious. Your hairline is the same.
Yeah. Sure feel a lot older.
Pace car off.
Inside of 10 to go. Let's go.
It's a shootout here at Talladega.
And we have Robusto leading us to it.
Yeah.
Robusto and Lawless Allen on the outside. Green flag back in the air.
Yeah, Lawless was the control car. Let's see if there was a little bit of teamwork there where she let him get out in front, and she did let him get back in front of her. Good teamwork there by the Venturinis.
They do their best to work together here, get out front, try and pull that low line around the track.
Jankowiak leading the outside line, followed by Thad Moffitt and then LeVar Scott.
3 of our 4 Venturini cars on the inside line, with Jake now 4th in line on the inside. Now the side drafting is going to get closer.
It is.
Everything's going to get, the pushing, the bumping's going to get more aggressive.
Yeah, we're getting ready to turn things up here, and you can see Andy, he's already started it. He's got a run coming off of 4.
Andy J in the 73 leading that outside line.
You heard Thad say, I've got a car to win this. Let's see how he does it to get to the front.
He's been a great pusher so far. We haven't seen him lead yet, but Thad Moffitt, that 46 on the outside, pushes his line to the front in Andy J in the 73. Leads here at Talladega, 8 to go.
Yeah, Andy's done a good job of getting back to the lead. He's had a lot going on in this race.
Had that penalty, he had to make a green flag pit stop, but stayed on the lead lap.
He's got to make a decision here, though. Who's he going to stay with? He chose the outside line, and see if it plays off, sticking with that.
Lawless Allen at the bottom.
Isabella Robusto lined up behind her teammate in that 55 car.
And then it's Kitts Miller, who has pushed his way all the way towards the front from the 19th starting spot.
Yeah, you wonder who does a really good job of drag and brake here and getting that run built. Trying to stay together as tight as you can to get that run.
Looks like a pace lap at 180 miles an hour.
7 to go. Jankowiak and Lawless Allen on the bottom.
And sometimes you see the energy building from like the 3rd, 4th car back. When they get their lines tight together, that'll creep the leader out front just a little bit more.
The top 6 drivers right now have never been to victory lane in the ARCA Menard Series.
Jankowiak's best ever finish in the ARCA Menard Series is 4th. He's battling for the lead here on the outside. Lawless Allen leading the bottom. Robusto behind him.
There's Steve Lewis, that 62, fourth in line on the outside that we talked about.
Lewis up to 8th.
And in these situations, you want to be able to not show your cards to the very end. You got to make the right move at the right time. Put yourself in a position right now, but try not to get too far out front when it matters at the end of this thing. Keep your help with you.
See Jake right now. Jake Finch, fourth in line on the inside.
Moffitt with a big push on the 73. Got him a little bit squirrely. Andy J on the outside getting that big push from Moffitt in the 46.
There's a whole bunch of pushing going on right now.
Kitzmiller trying to get the 55 back to Lawless Allen.
The gloves are off with 6 to go. Allen on the bottom. Jankowiak leading the top.
Equal energy, top and bottom.
They're doing a good job guarding that yellow line as best they can here.
See a little bit of a side draft by Andy J to stay up with that 20. Try to pull Lawless Allen back a little bit.
Kitzmiller's pulling out here.
Isabella left a little bit up, left a half a car width.
Going to fade back in line. It's going to back up that bottom line right here's a run going to come from Thad to Andy J. You see what his choice is here. Thad's going to split it, go 3 wide. He's got the group with him. He's got the help.
Puts Andy J in the Michael Maples gets turned around.
Maples into the wall. Caution. Just as they went 3 wide in front with 5 to go. He was running at 15th, Maples was. And he wrecks here into the fence.
Well, we saw the move that Thad made. He was right. Cletus is pumping. He must have fist pumping.
Cletus was right there.
He certainly missed it. He missed it. That's maybe enough to cheer.
Did what he couldn't do twice in those wrecks that he got caught up in at Daytona.
I tell you what, when it gets hairy out there and stuff like that happens and you do miss it, a fist pump is sometimes it's warranted.
Deserve it, yeah.
Yeah, because you're just, hoping the guy's all right in the wreck, but you're hoping you made it through.
See if we can figure out where he is. I believe he's in front of that yellow car, which is A.J. Moyer. Probably going to be a push gone bad. Yeah. Looks like Moyer maybe got into him a little bit, turned him to the inside, then he overcorrected and got into the outside wall. That is Moyer. You see damage to that yellow 88 car right there.
Oh, that's what happened.
That's why Cletus was cheering.
Yeah,
he got a shot in the side.
Yeah. Wasn't that crazy until that happened when the 99 came back across, or the 88.
Moyer and Maples involved. The 88 and the 99. Cletus survives it.
Only 4 to go. By the time the ARCA officials will check the racetrack, we may be looking at a possible overtime finish. And again, the rules on a super speedway is we will have 1 attempt at an overtime finish of 1 lap. Maybe they'll get it cleaned up and we'll get a couple laps of racing in.
It'll be interesting here because you have Thad's going to have lane choice will be with Lawless, and last time he worked with Isabella to get down. How does that play out for Thad? If they don't do it well, he should have the lead.
Yeah, but if Lawless probably, I would think, would stay the inside. He has Isabella running third, so she would line up behind him if he chooses the inside.
I would choose the person that you feel can push the best. And Thad has kept his car pretty tight and has got speed, definitely speed for a pusher.
Yeah, there's Kevin Reed Jr. That's a crew chief for Lawless Allen. Lawless trying to get his first ever win here in ARCA Menard Series.
And you could try and control both lanes as far as Venturini Motorsports there. Have both lanes run side by side. That's another way, and just use the push behind.
Kevin told me yesterday that Lawless bought his first home, closed on it the day before yesterday, right next door to his house. He said, so it depends on how things go. There may be a big wall up the Troutman wall in between those 2 houses.
Well, if he just bought a house this win, that's probably why he's out front. He's got to go pay for the house.
Got to pay for it.
So Maples on the hook. Cletus just gave us another sweet move. Our Reese's sweet move of the race, another nominee. And his avoidance of this wreck is why
You see him. He's back with a yellow hood, black fenders.
He sees the wreck here. He whips the car to the left. Does a good job, and he probably thinks he's good at this point, but then, uh-oh. Oh, just barely.
That's why we saw the fist pump. You could hear the contact right there.
Visit ARCARacing.com Monday, 3 Eastern to see who is crowned Reese's sweet move of the race. Cletus always providing entertainment. He's been good for the ARCA Menards series.
He is a tall guy. I met him earlier today. I mean, that is a lot of man getting in that race car.
In the 30 car, Garrett Mitchell, his given name, for Rhett Jones Racing in the Ford.
I read where he was already announced that he will run the ARCA race at Bristol later this year, so that's going to be fun.
I mean, these are some of the antics. This is what he does for a living. He just entertains and drives anything, anywhere across the world.
I saw the RV race going on at the short track at Talladega. I thought that was epic.
He had a race of Crown Victorias. Biffle was in the race. Michael was in the race. Travis Pastrana won the race. Haley Deegan was in the race. Michael said he had a blast.
And he and his buddies drove some beat-up RVs up here this weekend. And, of course, they are staying on the infield. You knew they weren't going to go to a hotel or anywhere fancy.
He might sneak in here, get him a top 10. He's sitting P14, just a couple laps to go. Never know what can happen. He's been fighting that car all day, but they've done a good job to get a little more speed in it.
Yeah, 2 laps to go. So if we get 1 to go next time, then it's going to be a 1-lap shootout.
And only 1 attempt.
At 1 attempt, yeah, no matter what happens.
So next time around, we're going to get a green and white flag together. 1-lap shootout.
Well, they didn't give him 1 to go, so we're not going to restart.
Yeah, you got to choose.
But when we do,
in the ARCA Menards, they
just
choose
the front row, just
the
leader, the leader has a lane
choice.
choice. Yes. So Isabella's, without a doubt, will start third because she does not get lane choice.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. But when they do restart,
well, what are you choosing here, Phil? You're the leader.
I think I'm going with my teammate.
Okay. Go with your teammate. I like that. That outside line, they did get him down the last time they restarted. So
yeah, but I don't I don't think there's going to be agreement with Brett with Thad Moffitt to allow him in. So,
but he'll be starting on the. I got what you're saying. Yeah, he'll have the inside if he chooses. Yeah. You can't give up the bottom. You're saying.
Yeah, I think double yellow line's your friend here.
And but your help is going to come from Andy J, who he just split 3 wide.
Yeah,
so,
but Andy still has to help him to help himself. I think.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
But that's always in the back of your mind. You got to help yourself, but then you're going to be looking for that point as fast as you can get.
Maybe put him in the middle.
Yeah. He's done a good job. Andy has done a very good job in this race. He's delivering pizza fast.
Yeah. One thing I'm a little bit surprised, we saw the strength of that 18 of Sawalich early on. We saw him get split, and now he's outside the top 10 and 12th.
Yeah, same with Jake. He wasn't able to kind of get up through there. He was on the bottom, just kind of mired in the bottom lane. And I think since everybody tightened the wick up, there wasn't many gaps to use, so that leader and being out front was very important.
I don't think there was any gaps as big as a piece of paper.
Yeah, it was pretty tight.
Because everybody was bumping and side drafting. Let's see if we're going to give them 1 to go here. Again, when they get 1 to go, when they restart, it'll be a 1-lap shootout to finish.
Yep. Lights will be off on the pace car.
Yeah. Looks like Lawless is going to stay to the inside, it looks like, right?
Yep. That should have to go to the outside. I don't know why he hasn't pulled up there. There he goes.
So we got teammates lined up on the inside line with Lawless, Al, and Isabella Robusto.
So it is a 1 attempt at a 1-lap overtime finish.
So you got to do a very good job here of sticking with your help, using, getting through the gears properly, and trying to keep the lead, because that caution light could come out at any time.
Exactly. The next flag will finish this race.
Right.
If the caution comes out when they're in turn 1, then that will be a complete race. Then we'll see whoever's ahead at that moment.
Yep.
I mean, as aggressive as these races get at the end of it, it could literally be the guy that gets through the gears perfect, or gal that gets through the gears perfect and makes this thing happen.
Lawless Allen on the bottom. Thad Moffitt on the top.
I have to believe we're going to see a third lane here, because if I'm back in 6th or 7th row on the outside, where am I going to go?
Entry to turn 1, somebody will head up the hill and try and get the top.
Cars back there too.
There is. You got Swalich in 12th, so you know that car's had speed all day.
And Jake's in 8th, so he's just 2 rows in front of Swalich.
Yeah, Jake's another one. If you can get the run built, use it.
Remember, the start-finish line is all the way down by turn 1 here, not in the tri-oval like it is in most places. We've seen a lot of things happen between that tri-oval and the start-finish line over the years.
It's a long way to get back around.
2.66 miles on the biggest track, the widest track, the track with the highest banking, pace car off. It's a one-lap shootout to decide things at Talladega. Green flag in the air. Lawless Allen on the bottom, Thad Moffitt on the top.
Oh,
they go 3 wide, coming down to the apron and into the wall. The 70 crashes hard, collects 5 or 6 cars at the front though. And they throw the caution.
Caution is out.
Who was it?
It looked like Lawless Allen.
I believe so. Who got through the gears first? We talked about it.
Yeah. Oh, tough break, Steve Lewis Jr. There's Brian Doza, the 75.
I saw Andy leading up to that restart stick his hand out the window. I think his plan was to work with Kitzmiller to get a run on Thad. It didn't seem like he had a lot of help coming to the line. But I mean, you never know. That I'm always confused sometimes by the timing line and who would be out front. But I believe Lawless Allen was out front. It's tight.
Certainly, we hope all the drivers are okay that were involved, and there were some pretty hard hits.
You see Balkin, and then the 62, you mentioned Steve Lewis Jr. And the 69 of Nolan Wilson. Either way, it'll be a first-time winner.
Yeah, the ARCA officials will have to review the tape to see at the moment of caution. There's a time stamp that when they hit the button to throw the caution. Let's watch this restart right here. There's the restart line. It's not a restart zone in ARCA, just that line where Lawless took off. Solid restart by Lawless, getting up through the gears. Thad did a good job as well.
And Isabel Robusto did a good job sticking with her teammate, pushing hard. He just didn't have the same help. But right here, you can't tell. I might. And
it is official.
Green light is.
We just got word. It's official. Lawless Allen has won the race here in the General Tire 200 at Talladega. First-time winner, Lawless Allen.
Hey. Congratulations, Lawless. And I think his screenshot on his phone was the moves he made at the end of the race not to win. So he got the win right there.
Awesome.
Devin Reed Jr. right there. That's when he got the word. And there'd be no fence between their two houses this week anyway.
Back-to-back years, the 20 car wins at Talladega. It was Jake Finch last year. This time around, it is Lawless Allen.
You see the pylon left of our screen. How about who finished 10th?
Kalidas got a top 10.
Kalidas got a top 10.
How about that?
Hageberg gets a top 10. He finishes 8th.
There's Kalidas.
Yeah, great win for Lawless, man. I've seen him in different series and doing the truck series, I believe, here and there. And for him to get a win here at Talladega, that's awesome. That's momentum. Take it on to the next race.
He's got a handful of races coming up in the truck series with Tricon Garage. Already got a top 10 at Martinsville, but the burnout and the win here at Talladega in the General Tire 200.
There you go. Burn it down.
Stop it on the start-finish line.
That worked out perfect. I wonder if he planned that.
Certainly a contender for the championship. Full-time, announced full-time this year in the ARCA Menard Series for Venturini. So
the autoparkit.com parked it in Victory Lane.
The 19th different winner in the last 19 races here at Talladega, the 25-year-old from Van Nuys, California. First ARCA win in his 10th start.
And I dare say, possibly the happiest day of his life.
A life-changing day, a dream come true for the 20 car.
Finally, he said.
There you go. He did a great job. He really did today. He kept himself out front, made moves when he needed to. Brought home the dub.
Headed to victory lane in the 20. Lawless Allen.
He was there all day. He deserved it.
Yeah,
he
did.
ran good, ran well, made some great moves.
Oh, that feels good.
And Josh is with the winner.
Lawless, we talked earlier today, man, and you told me how close you were to getting your first career win last year here in the Truck Series, to the point where it's the background on your phone, that final lap. Well, I guess now you can change the background because you are a winner here in the ARCA Series.
Man, first thing I got to say is God is so good, man. I didn't have any sort of plan after Phoenix last year. Then Toyota called me and we put this deal together with Venturini and Auto Park, and I'm so thankful to them. But man, finally I got that monkey off my back. I can change my wallpaper to something happy, and I think this is the worst possible thing that could have happened to the competition, because I got the confidence that I can do it now. There's no what ifs. I can do it. So, man, that feels good. Huge thanks to Auto Park. Huge thanks to Venturini and Toyota for standing by me. And can't thank my parents enough, and my fiance. So they've supported me through the good and bad, and it's good.
Lawless, you said going into this race, the goal for you was to be more patient, given the way things played out at Daytona. Talk to me about how you handled this race, and then at the end, what was going through your mind when the caution comes out and you're thinking, did I get it? Did I finally get it done?
A big thing that helped with the patience was honestly iRacing. Doing speedway races on iRacing. One in particular, we ran the 60-lap race. We ran a green the whole time. I just rode third and fourth the whole time, and I was able to be patient in that, going, oh yeah, I can do it. And it was kind of the same thing here. It kept working out. We had such a fast car that I was able to just ride in first through third the whole race, come up with some plans, and had great restarts, had a great push by Isabella behind me that put me ahead of Thad. And yeah, I knew I was ahead of Thad, but I wasn't celebrating, I wasn't smiling, I wasn't doing anything until they said it for sure. They said it, I confirmed it, and then I started celebrating. So it feels good. This is kind of like a home race for me, because I went to the University of Alabama, and Roll Tide. Mixed reviews on that one, but it feels good. Just wow, can't believe it.
Lawless Allen, your winner here at Talladega. Caitlin?
Here's the frame right before the light came out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, how about that? Just as you mentioned, Austin, get through the gears. Although Thad got through the gears as well, because Lawless, was the control car, so he's the only guy that can go first.
Correct, and I think that Isabella Roboso did the best job of staying tight to her teammate.
That was the screensaver you talked about, Austin. Gonna have to update that one now.
Yeah, this is the last lap in the truck race here last fall.
He gets a victory lane picture now.
Caitlin with our second place finisher, Thad Moffitt.
Yeah, Thad relegated to the runner-up position here in Talladega, saying you just feel dejected. What are all the emotions? I know you told me you've been going after this one for a long time. What are you feeling?
Yeah, Caitlin, it sucks, but it's good at the same time. Just dejected. I thought I won that race. I thought I got through the box better. I thought I got down to turn one better. He just had his teammate behind him to, give him a push down into one. It sucks. Nitro's going to win races this year, though. I got a good group. I've got a good team. Super thankful to be part of Toyota Gazoo Racing and the TD2 program and have induction on the car this weekend. I think we've got a good group, and we're going to show people what we're made of the rest of the year. Just dejected right now. I thought we won, and we didn't.
Yeah, but how does this give you some momentum moving forward, this great, strong performance here overall?
I think it's going to sting for the rest of the day, right? But, when we go have our debrief and stuff next week, I think it will be